Alrighty, guys, it is 3:30 this Tuesday, August 4th. I think we've got one of those rare, crazy up days when the market really makes headway. It's one of those things. That's the reason you sit in stocks and don't necessarily try to trade stock too aggressively or sit on cash and try to buy in when things happen. Because when things happen, they happen like this, and you just lost a ton of stuff, ton of range. And if you try to buy now, you'll be chasing it. So that's one of those days which is going to be pretty darn unusual. Now, we talked about in the last update the 2 o'clock hour, and you can see we had a little exhaustion rally right into that rally. Here's your exhaustion bar. A lot of volume and much more than the prior bars. Immediate rotation down. And here you have the 2 o'clock hour. So this is your exhaustion, a little pullback. And then you can see how they run out of gas. They're just going sideways at this point. A bit up, down, up, a bit. Now they're going sideways. So at this point, and this is the last half hour of the day, we are finally found a spot where they are running out of gas on the way up. Doesn't mean that they can't explode into the close, but chances are we have a shot at a potential short at the highs, if that's going to be. There's no rush to get short at this by any means, because it's one of those days where you just have to be real careful about it. But I would look for a few lower highs. That's what I was looking for. In other words, you're looking for the S's. If you see a few S's, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, that could be the start of a little retracement move. Other than that, not going to be very aggressive on the short side. I would look for them to start taking out this area, the IJK 7760s. It's going to be then down at this rotation low. So if they start taking out that low and start retracing below it, and you hear that purple line is your 100% extension of of the initial balance. If you start taking out that, I would expect it to run down there or even lower. But that is a big if. It does not need to happen that way at all, especially with a day like this. And it could also be like we are in for a couple of days of exactly the same thing. They're going to keep squeezing this to the upside. Any short positions on right now are under significant pressure. So some of this move is most likely short squeeze as well. Some people got caught. They're trying to get back their shares before it gets too late, and they're sitting in losing positions. Margin calls are coming in, and these guys are going to have to buy at the high to get out of those positions. So margin calls, good earnings, everything, I think all blends into a nice move like this. So looking at the ES, in the bigger picture, we are in a clear move out of the middle to the upside. They can't get much clearer than that. This morning, we were right up here at the highs. We were talking about the potential for failure. And but at the open, when it started blowing through this, okay, we're not failing. They're taking it higher. At this point, we have another level to lean against. And I can now mark this guy up right there. That's possible. I take my level and draw it up like this. Here is an area of congestion. So on the way down, this is going to be support. Right now, it's just an area we're looking back at. So they are up here. I don't know quite how far they're going to go, but this is in move and a half. This is almost a 130, 140 point move right now on the ES. You don't see these too often. So that just tells you how crazy it can get. But on the way down, as I said, I'm looking to buy weakness to get started. There's no reason to fade it until you get the good retest failure. That's when you're going to know that this move is over and start backing off a bit. But they may not be done yet. So I would look to buy weakness initially down here to that level 7760s. Below that, I would look for a little bit more of a retracement trade. You can see there's not a lot of stuff to lean against on the way down here. This is your best edge right now going into the overnight. So there you have it, at least to get started. And now we'll see what the overnight does. On the NASDAQ, also a pretty freaking good move. NASDAQ has a little bit more to go before they really start getting crazy, but you can see here, this whole volume area, we talked about getting past that 29,300, 300. They managed to do that early on this morning. They've been holding it. They've been squeezing this up. They're heading out to test the 30,000, 30,060s. So expect the NASDAQ to run in some resistance here. They're not quite there yet, but you can see here, this is like not that far. You see a little volume edge on the side here on the F2. That's your edge. It's pretty clear on the F1, that volume edge. But that's where they're going to run into resistance. And before then, I think they can go higher. I'm looking at NASDAQ to take it all the way up there before they really run out of gas. So we had a little bit more to go on the NASDAQ. Right now, it looks like they kind of stalled a little bit. If I on a pullback, I would be more interested in getting short after they take out that IJK ledge and start retracing these single print eyes. I would be more inclined to look for a retracement trade. Right now, I look to buy all the way down to that lower edge at the 29,800. So that's how we get started in the overnight. On the long side of this, it's a move out of the middle to the upside. In other words, do not fade it. There's no reason to get in front of this until we find it running out of gas. And looking at the late in the day profit taking pullback is the only reason you're looking for a short here. But if it doesn't develop, I would not be very aggressive on it because you're more than likely to get caught on the wrong side of it. So looking for a few lower highs before I start considering a short. There's no reason to get in front of it on the upper edge because it's a move out of the middle. So if you want to know more or forgot about move out of the middles and the P's and B's, look into the 321 white paper. It gives you a really nice refresher of how to use those. Looking at the bonds, bond market is looking pretty, actually better than I thought it would be. They're happy, they're holding at the highs. They're definitely trying to take it higher. If they can get past that 110, I think I'll be a little bit more optimistic about the long side again. But right now, we'll take what we can get. So the yields coming down a little bit, prices going up on the bonds. And on the cryptos, nothing to say. I haven't really traded any of that stuff. The interesting part there is oil down at 75. So if it looks like something is interesting, I'll show you. But crypto, coin-based futures is definitely one thing which is interesting. Also, pointing out on the new website, I'm putting up new content, knowledge nugget guides. I'm putting up various little guides, basically knowledge nugget guides, both under the resource tab and the support tab. And I'm going to keep putting those up there, getting busy doing that, and see if we can get some more action on the website and more conversions. Now, I haven't traded anything today, unfortunately, and it's one reason is because you get a little bit paralyzed when it moves like this, trying to find a spot to get long. You just keep chasing it. You don't want to chase it. So, and when a time opportunity pullback comes, you're just not paying attention. So a day like this is difficult, more difficult than you think, because more than the 95% of the other days when you chase it like this, you get on the wrong side of it. So today was the day it would have worked. So it's just difficult. So I didn't try to be cute about it. I was looking for an exhaustion a little bit earlier on, didn't happen. And I've been busy doing other stuff instead. Beating myself a little bit for not trying to get in on it, but it's just when do you get in and how aggressive do you want to be? You had to be aggressive. You had to do a trade one of the Bs, pull back Bs, and hopefully it doesn't pull back hard in between. So, but that's where we are. So looking at a pretty good close of the trading day. And we'll take it. Your 401k should be looking pretty good as well. Alrighty, guys, we'll wrap it there. I'll see you in the morning. Now, just before we close the news for tomorrow, we have mortgage apps. You have ADP. We have a Treasury refunding announcement, PMI composite, ISM services. So we got a little bit of news in the morning. Nothing really earth-shattering, but definitely news. I think the biggest news is going to come on Friday with the employment situation. All right, guys, we'll wrap it there. I'll see you back at 8:05 bright and early tomorrow morning. You guys have a good evening. Later.